I had always believed trust was the cornerstone of marriage. For 6 years, I thought Vanessa and I had built something unshakable. We laughed together, argued occasionally, and shared a life many would envy. Yet, there was a side of her I never truly understood, a side that could smile while hiding secrets. It wasn't until that Tuesday evening that I realized how fragile our so-called perfect life really was. Vanessa came home later than usual, her heels clicking sharply against the hardwood floor. Laughter spilled from her lips as she recounted something I wasn't meant to hear. I was setting the table, keeping our routine intact, but her mood felt sharp, almost daring. She looked at me, tilted her head, and laughed. I could divorce you any time. The words hung in the air like a sudden storm, mocking rather than threatening, oblivious to what had already been set in motion. What she didn't know, what she could never have anticipated, was a folder I had discovered that morning, tucked away in her office drawer, a drawer she assumed I never opened. A simple folder, plain and unassuming, yet filled with images, receipts, and messages that told a story I wasn't ready to accept. For weeks, subtle signs had been slipping past me. Late nights, mysterious phone calls, a faint perfume that wasn't mine. And now, standing before me, she laughed as if she held all the power. I didn't respond immediately. No yelling, no confrontation. I had learned long ago that some battles are won silently, and this was one of them. Instead, I poured myself a glass of water, the cool liquid steadying my pulse. Vanessa noticed my calm, and a flicker of surprise crossed her eyes. "What are you smiling at?" she asked, curiosity tinged with defensiveness. I sat down, placing the fork and knife neatly beside my plate. "We'll talk after dinner," I said. It wasn't a question or a threat. It was a statement of control, of patience, of the quiet storm about to break. Her laughter faltered slightly. I saw it, the first crack in her confident mask. Dinner was awkwardly quiet. Vanessa stole glances at me, forcing smiles as if trying to maintain the illusion of control. I couldn't let her know how much I already knew. The folder wasn't just proof. It was a weapon, a mirror showing her deception, and I held it silently in my mind, knowing exactly when to use it. After we cleared our plates, I motioned for her to sit on the couch. She hesitated, but her confidence was already waning. "Vanessa," I began, voice calm, measured, "we need to talk about trust." The words alone carried the weight of months of hidden truths. Her laughter attempted to fill the silence, a nervous, forced humor for someone caught off guard. "What do you mean?" she asked, tilting her head, that smug expression she once thought charming. But charm doesn't hide guilt. I had learned that long ago. I pulled the folder from my briefcase, placing it gently on the coffee table between us. Her eyes widened as she recognized the plain manila cover. Where'd you get that?" she stammered, a tremor in her voice. I said nothing, letting the silence stretch, letting her panic quietly build. Every second of hesitation was a confession in itself. Inside the folder were months of late-night dinners with men she had casually referred to as clients, text messages laced with playful innuendos, hotel receipts she claimed were work-related. Each page revealed a carefully documented betrayal she assumed I would never uncover. Vanessa's expression shifted from shock to anger as she tried to snatch the folder from the table. I held my ground. "Vanessa, I trusted you with everything," I said softly, "and you used that trust to hide a life I was never meant to see." She opened her mouth to argue, to deny, even to laugh. But the folder was a mute witness. Words failed her for once. I could see realization dawning. Her control was gone. The power she thought she held, the confidence in mocking me, had evaporated. This confrontation wasn't about yelling or fighting. It was about truth, exposure, and the quiet reckoning of betrayal. Her silence stretched, heavy and suffocating, broken only by the occasional shuffle of papers. Panic flickered in her eyes, the same eyes that had laughed earlier as if nothing could touch her. Confidence crumbled into desperation. The justice had been served without me uttering a single harsh word. The folder had spoken for me. I can explain," she whispered finally, shaky, pleading. But explanations were meaningless now. Actions had already spoken louder than any excuse, and I had seen the full extent of her betrayal. "I trusted you with my life. I said, voice low, measured, controlled. And you chose to betray that trust. Not once, not twice, but repeatedly. You wanted control, to mock me, to act untouchable. And now, here we are. I let the words linger, allowing the weight of truth to settle like a physical presence. Her hand trembled as she reached the folder, tried to reclaim some semblance of power. I leaned back, calm as ever. This isn't about anger, I continued. It's about understanding the choices you made and the consequences they bring. And right now, the consequences that I see everything clearly for the first time. Her lips quivered. The bravado she wielded as a shield was gone. For the first time in years, she was exposed, vulnerable, and small in a way I hadn't imagined possible. She had laughed at the idea of divorce before, but confronted with undeniable proof of her deception, she didn't even try to argue. Silence replaced bravado, and in that silence, I felt grim satisfaction. I picked up the folder carefully, placing it back in my briefcase. We'll need to decide what comes next, I said. But know this, I am no longer the man who could be fooled, laughed at, or underestimated. That chapter of our life is over. Vanessa's shoulders sagged, the fight draining out of her. Laughter was gone, replaced by hollow realization. The woman who thought she could control the narrative was powerless. And I, the man she had mocked, had already seen everything. For the first time, I felt a strange mixture of relief and sorrow. Betrayal had shattered the illusion of our life together, but also revealed the truth I had been seeking all along. As I left the room, the folder secured in my briefcase, one thing was certain. Trust, once broken, could never be given blindly again. Some lessons can only be learned the hard way.